Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being patient if you happen to still be on YouTube. Keishla and I have been messing around with YouTube for the past hour because their live streaming was not working. But it looks like we are up and running. So hopefully you have a chance to watch this sometime over the next couple of days since we didn't get on right at 9 today. Anyways, I want to cover a bunch of things. First of all, I want to give you an update on the launch of our REW websites. So our official launch date was on Wednesday. And if you go to layerrealty.com, you'll see that we have not launched yet. We just did not feel comfortable that it didn't look up to our standards when we saw the launch version this week. We said it definitely was not ready to go live. So they're making a bunch of tweaks on the back end of the system, and hopefully maybe today we will feel comfortable to make the system go live. So a few things I want to say about that is that we've been hounding a bunch of you guys to get us your photos because the individual agent websites aren't going to look nice if you don't have a nice photo and bio. So your personal agent website, if you have one, is going to look super bland if you don't have your photo and bio into us, at least for the launch. You can always give it to us like next week, and then we can make your website look as nice as everyone else's. So a couple things I wanted to talk about today. First, technology, which I've been sitting here for an hour and a half trying to get the YouTube up and running. But I want to talk about technology and how to vet out technology, because every one of us, as a brokerage and as a real estate agent, we all go through these times in our business where we say we're going to go get a new website or a new CRM system or a new marketing system. And I have learned such a great deal in the last 6 months about vetting out technology partners that I wanted to offer advice to you guys. So my number one piece of advice is that if you're going to try a new piece of technology in your business for marketing, CRM, website, you name it, anything. If you're going to try a new piece of technology, my first piece of advice is to do one thing at a time. One mistake that we made is that just in the last 60 days, we are relaunching our app, relaunching our website, and we also upgraded our entire phone system. So what I would do different in the future is that I would work on one item at a time, like get one down pat. Like, we should have gotten our phone system all straightened out, perfect, and then do the website. Once the website was perfect, then do the app. So sometimes you just get anxious and excited and you want everything to be awesome at once. But I would say definitely in your business, and a lesson that I've learned over the last 6 months is get one thing done and then take on the next big project. Because even though they seem like tiny little projects, they are monstrous with the amount of labor and work and decisions involved, that you're so much better off just getting one thing done at a time. Now, specific to the website platform and seeking out like new technology partners, I wanted to talk about some of the things that you should look for. And this is all based on mistakes that I've made. Number one, if you are seeking out any type of new technology partner, before you sign a contract or give somebody your credit card or put any money down on it, before you do any of that, start vetting them. Like, if you're like me, you see like a new product or a new piece of technology and you're like, oh my God, I want it. I will pay whatever. I want to be the first one to have it. But spend a little time like Googling the company that you're going to work with. So whoever it is, like spend 1 hour Googling them. Go to their website, whoever your technology partner is, and find out who are the companies that they currently work with. If it's not on the website, then ask the company that you're looking to partner with for technology. Say that you would like to interview a current customer and a previous customer, somebody that left their system. And I get it. You guys are busy. I'm busy. Nobody wants to spend an afternoon calling companies and saying, hey, I'm thinking about investing in this technology. Can you tell me what the good, the bad, and the ugly? But I think if through our current launch of what we were doing, I would have made different decisions if I had done all that before I signed a contract. We eventually did that. But by that time it's too late. Like once you sign a contract or give over your credit card information, it's pretty much too late. So what I'd say for your technology needs when you're going out and thinking about partnering with anybody, spend the extra time calling the people that have already worked with this vendor. Oftentimes vendors will say like, hey, you should partner with us because we do business with all these companies. And what they know is that you're never going to call any of those companies. But I think it would absolutely save a great deal of effort, expense, etc., just by learning what other companies or other real estate agents just like you, like what are the things that they learn through the launch of it. So vet out your people. The next one, third thing that I would say, don't jump the gun in choosing a partner that you're going to go with. So if it's a website company, if it's a marketing company, if it's a new company you're going to partner with for social media, take some time and like see what your options are. Don't just go for the first one. Often that's one of the mistakes that I often make. Like if there's something I want for my business, I'll go out, find a company that does that item. I'll sit through a webinar or a sales pitch with them. And if they do everything that I want it to do, then I'm ready to sign the dotted line. Don't do that. Find out what other companies are out there. And then when you're talking to the different companies, tell them who else you're speaking to so that they can tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about their competitors. Like spend a little time researching it. So you're a real estate agent, but you're a business owner just like I am. So take the extra time. Fourth thing I would say is read the contract. I am notoriously bad at reading contracts. I hate multi-page contracts. And I think that's the same for you guys too, or many of you. Like as entrepreneurs and business owners and salespeople, we are ADD. Like we're on to like, we sign a contract on this and then we're on to the next thing and on to the next thing and on to the next thing. If you're looking at new technology, like pull out the contract. And I can't stress enough, like you guys have attorneys in your network. How much does it cost to have an attorney just read through the contract for you? What, maybe $200? I mean, it could save you thousands. So some of the things to look for in that contract is, let's just say that it's a month-to-month contract that you're going to pay for whatever, social media posting, let's say. It could be anything. Let's just say it's a month-to-month pricing program. You want to find out, when does the monthly amount start? So in other words, if there's like a setup time, maybe it could be 3 months to set up whatever the program is. When do you start paying? Like, do you start paying when you have a product that you can use, or do you start paying literally once you sign the contract? That's one thing to look for. Number 2, how long is the contract? Number 3, how easy is it to get out of the contract? So if for whatever reason you don't like it, are you stuck in that contract for the long haul, or are there ways to get out of it? Number 4, when the contract is up, so let's just say it's a 2-year contract. When that contract is up, Do you have to give them notice within a certain time period in order to stop the contract? So in other words, many contracts, especially these tech vendors, many of their contracts just automatically renew if you do not give them notice of a cancellation. So read the contract or have an attorney read the contract for you and say, hey, this is the date you're going to have to tell them if you no longer want this in 2 years, and then stick it on your Google Calendar so that 2 years from now, when this piece of technology is the last thing on your mind, you're going to have a little pop-up reminder that says, hey, if you want out of this contract, it's going to renew for another 2 years if you don't do anything. So read through the contract. Can't stress it enough. Also, look for wording within your technology contracts of what happens if there's any type of dispute or you're not happy with the product, etc. So I guess those are the main things that I would say as salespeople and business owners. We are relationship people. So it's easy to create relationships with technology people for all the different facets of our business. You might go to a conference and create a relationship with someone and you feel like you want to buy from them, but you don't quite understand exactly what you're getting. And I definitely say that with the launch of our REW sites. What I believe is that in the end, we're going to get great sites, and we're going to demand that they be up to what I would say is a beautiful, easy to use product for you guys. But on our end, there was a lot of work on our end that we didn't realize needed to be done by us rather than the technology partner. And I think it's all stuff that could have been better vetted by asking the right questions in the beginning and reading through the contract before signing it, or having an attorney read through the contract. So I am still super excited about the launch of our REW websites. I think it might happen this weekend. What I know is I've spent a great deal of time on the back end of it, and I know you're going to get a beautiful agent website if you are decide to purchase. I know that you're going to have leads that come in through the new system if you have an agent website. I feel really excited about how beautiful the Lair Realty website is going to be. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the lessons that I learned from going through this entire process. Couple other things when it comes to launching any type of new technology partner, because think about all these technology partners you have in your own business. I'd also, as you're launching new things for your business, ask questions like, what is going to be required of me? What is the work that's going to be required of me to get this launched? And then, can you do it? Like, do you have the capacity to do it? One upside to going through this entire process over the last 6 months, and this is thanks to Al Shola. Al helped us get a lot of like your agent bios and photos, all that transferred into the new website. And a great deal of it was by working with contractors through Upwork. So if you are ever in need of like a personal assistant or somebody to do technology work for you, definitely check out Upwork. Upwork is a site where you can go on and basically type in the type of work you're looking for, and then you'll have people from around the world who will bid out on that work. So imagine 2 weeks ago, we find out we need to manually input 500 real estate agents into the back end of our new website. That means we have to get photos in, we got to get your bios in, we got to hook up your MLSs, put in your MLSs, we got to pull over your testimonials, get your name and email into the system. I mean, it is an immense amount of work. And when I learned that, I was like, holy cow, I'm gonna have to put like 10 admins on this job in order to get it all done. And I was talking to Al Scholl, and he said, oh, no, no, no. We're not going to put 10 admins on that. That's just a waste of resources. And he's like, let me get somebody through Upwork to do it. So he put it out to Upwork, and all of that work was basically done in a weekend for less than a couple $100. So think about that for your business as well. Like, what are the resources? Are you overpaying for resources in your business? Is there somewhere else you can go to get somebody who understands how to do it? And just logistically, how that works is like, in my mind, when I said to, Al that we're going to have to get these 500 real estate agents into the back end of our system, he said, I'll get somebody from Upwork. I said, oh no, it's going to take too long to train somebody how to do that. And he said, no, it isn't. So we went into the back end of the new REW system. He just did a screen recording of exactly the work that had to be done, and then sent that to the Upwork assistant. And literally it was done in 2 days for under $200. So think about that, because I know so many of you guys have, like, you need help getting CRM set up, or information put into a CRM, or marketing pieces done, or social media postings done, and you labor over how to do it, etc. And there are sites out there like Upwork where you can find people from around the world that will literally do it for very little money. So awesome lesson for all of us. So that's it on some ideas I wanted to share with you guys on technology and launching anything. I mean, for me, it has come down to launching 3 major pieces of technology for our business: a new upgraded phone system, a new website, and a new app. 3 major pieces all in a short amount of time. So there were like a million lessons to be learned. And so a big piece of this video is for me in general. I'm going to make sure it's well labeled. So next time I need to vet out a new technology partner, which we do all the time in our business, that I'm going to watch this video as a reminder of what I did wrong this time and how I can improve. So next time, the entire process just goes so much more smoothly. Last piece, because I got about 10 minutes before our 30-minute session is up. Last piece I want to talk about is mentorship and coaching, etc. I had an agent reach out to me recently and wanted to do like regular one-on-one coaching sessions. And what I said to that agent is, first of all, there's a million places to get coaching all day, every day. So there's an awesome book I read. First of all, it's a very long and arduous book, so I would not go recommend that you read it, but it's called Women, Fire, and Dangerous Things. And it basically, what this book is, it's like a scientific study. And what it says is that people all day long, we're in a place where we can learn lessons. And however, many of us, like, we have these reptilian brains, every one of us, that our brains are set up so that the brain takes shortcuts all day long and cuts out information that we don't need, etc. And so many people are not looking for coaching or lessons throughout the day because something is not labeled as a lesson. So let's use this whole technology thing that I just went through. That whole technology rollout for the last 6 months for all these different vendors that we're working with. If I had not been looking at that as an opportunity to really learn, there are like 20 lessons embedded in the last 6 months that would have just gone to waste. So, what this book, Women, Fire, and Dangerous Things, says is that many people aren't in a learning mode unless they happen to be in a class or watching a webinar, because when it's a class or a webinar, something is turned on in their head that says, oh, I should be learning right now. So I am going to be extra aware of what is being said because I should be learning. But the lesson is that we should always be learning. And so I think that applies to mentorship and coaching too. I don't think you necessarily need somebody who you talk to once a month or twice a month or once a week. I think that for real estate agents, if you create awareness and say, every day I'm going to find 3 lessons from the day, what I learned, and I'm going to write those lessons down, and I'm going to reflect on them throughout the week of what those lessons are. I think that there are so many lessons in business and life all day, every day, from the way a waiter or waitress treats you at a restaurant to the way other people treat that waiter and waitress. I mean, every interaction we have all day, every day, from waiting in line at a drive-through window to watching a television ad and seeing how a company markets and who they're marketing to and why they're marketing to that person. All day, every day, there are a million little lessons. And because our reptilian minds are wired the way they're wired, unfortunately, we go through every day and miss out on them. So instead of like looking for somebody to coach you or train you, I want to challenge you guys to look around you and find lessons every single day and reflect on them and say, how does that apply to my business? And what could I do differently in my business? Or when you're doing business with people, like you're out at a restaurant or you're buying a new piece of technology, anytime you're doing business with people, think about how they treat their customers and how you could use that to treat your customers. And when you get a mailing in the mail, I want you to look at them and say, oh, how could I use this information in my own life or business? All day, every day, there are a million little lessons. So the way that I try to get those lessons to stick, by the way, is through blogging. So many people do journaling. And basically journaling is just writing throughout the day to talk about like what's going on in your life and the lessons you learned and stuff. So for me, blogging is journaling. So I take notes all day long. I have my phone with me all day. And the app I use is called Keep Notes. Keep Notes is a Gmail product. The cool thing about Keep Notes, these are like little sticky notes basically, but they're on my phone. And because it's a Gmail product, the Keep Notes is also on the right-hand side of my screen when I open my Gmail each day. So I see a list of all my notes of all the things that I am working on. So I take notes throughout the day. Like if I learn a cool lesson about something that I want to stick in my head, I take a note and put it on my phone. And then when I see it on my email later, I'll see it again. And then if it's something super important, I will blog about it. So many of you have seen, I do most of my blogging on LinkedIn. I literally have hundreds, like 300 or 400 articles. And those are all lessons that I've learned. And instead of journaling about those lessons, I write about the lessons I've learned and put them on my LinkedIn just as a blog post. So I'll write a blog kind of articulating the lesson that I've learned. So my thoughts for you guys is turn on your learning mode all day, every day. And you might not really need a coach or a trainer or anything because the world is a classroom. Everything around you is teaching you a lesson. From the trees outside which teach us that what I love about trees, and there have been books written on this, but if you think about trees and plants, like trees only take as much sun and as much water as they need. They don't take more, they don't hoard it from other trees for another time. They take exactly what they need, and no more, no less. So the trees teach us lessons. The interactions with other human beings teach us lessons. All day, every day, the world is teaching you lessons. You just have to be turned on, aware. You have to be waiting for, listening for those lessons to come your way, and don't squander them. So when a lesson does come your way, write it down, take down a little note, and then say, okay, what's the next thing I can do to try to make that stick? Maybe it's journaling, maybe it's blogging, or maybe it's taking what you learned and figuring out where that fits into your business, how you can change up your business a little bit because of that little lesson that you learned. So that's it. Thank you for sticking with me today. Sorry for the confusion with YouTube, but I do think that was YouTube's issue today, giving us a problem on getting logged in. I hope you learned something from kind of the notes I've taken in releasing so much technology at once, and what I learned from like dealing with contracts and dealing with the launch, and learning a great deal about what is possible through sites like Upworks. And last but not least, I leave you guys with this, like, be aware of all the lessons around you all day, every day. Treat the world as your classroom. And the coach is the person sitting next to you, the taxi driver that you get into a conversation with. Always be open to learning and then incorporate that stuff into your business. Have a great weekend. And let's see, maybe by next week, we'll have our new website all up and running, and I'll have a bunch of more lessons for you guys for next Friday. Thank you. Bye.